Hi, I'm Euge Valovirta, and this one is about ADA MP-1 preamp and how to use it, how to program it, how to set it. Most of you who has this probably knows this thing because this is as old as a sky from the 80s, great preamp. But I've got recently quite a few questions about how to operate this and how I use it. So this is about that. So it basically has three channels: tube distortion, tube clean, and solid state clean. And it's MIDI programmable, so there's over 100, I can't even remember, 128 probably. A lot of MIDI slots where you can dial as many different tones as you want by using these three different channels. So right now I'm at channel 5, which is my tube distortion channel. So there's two preamp tubes, and without boost it sounds like this. And I use this with overdrive because that gives me, this kind of rockier sound, and then when I kick in the SD, gives me more body and more high gain sound. Take the SD off, then my preset number 6 is a tube clean, which is clean sound but with tubes. When you pick harder, it starts to overdrive. And then let's say if I add clone to that, I get those smooth kind of Marshall JCM800 like tones. And then clone off, and my preset number 4, oh, I've actually done something, because that should be no sign here, so solid state clean. So actually now it's a good time to show you how you program this, because I apparently pressed something wrong, because 4 is my, or it used to be my solid state clean. So there's the controls: overdrive 1, overdrive 2. Overdrive 1 is basically kind of how strong signal hits the tubes. Then overdrive 2 is how much the tubes distort. So we can really change this. Master gain, it is like output volume, so you can set the levels. Like let's say you have the volume on one channel at 3.5, and then your lead preset is exactly the same sound, but you have it on 4.5. So it adds volume. It changes the character also tiny bit, because this is kind of the overall master, so this is kind of like the channel master. But I realized that it changes a bit depending how high or how low you have it, and that very minor thing. Then your bass, middle and treble and presence, effect loop on off, and there's chorus. This is stereo chorus. It doesn't sound good if you have a mono rig. I have a mono rig, so I don't use this. It sounds really good in stereo, but in mono it doesn't work. And then your voicing. So we're now on preset 4, and we press the edit button first. Okay, then we can choose voicing. So it's tube clean, almost like Euge. Tube distortion, SS. That doesn't mean the German troops back in the, yeah, that means solid state. All right, so now we have it solid state. And then when we change the kind of the channel all volumes go to 0, so we need to change those two. Master gain, let's put that to 5 because that's where I've had it on this channel. And then this overdrive 1. This kind of becomes a compressor on the solid state. And then the overdrive 2. That is kind of, but since this is solid state, these are minor details. But if I really crank the overdrive 1, the sound becomes really compressive. So that's compressor. I think I had it 3.6, tiny amount of compressor. Master gain 5 bass. Well, these go in the, you know, increments of 3, so from 9 to 12 to 6, so 9, mids -4, and then you can choose it here. Let's keep it -4, treble 4, 6, presence 8, and I think let's try 10 and treble a bit more. Yeah, a little bit more bite than the presence. 12 is too much. Keep it at 10, effect loop out, chorus depth and rate 0, and then now when I've edited, okay, this is my tone what I want. I press store, and this part is critical. Depending on the number now that you choose, it stores it into that. So I don't want to press 5 because that's my overdriven tube sound, and not 6, but 4 was the channel I was editing. So you need to remember what preset you were editing. So then I press 4, it stores it to 4. Now I have the tube clean. Sorry, 6 is tube clean. And the 4 is solid state clean. That was actually a bit louder, so edit. Master gain, put that to 4.5, store, number 4. So when you're storing, these don't apply. Cool, and then when we add chorus to this, to C5, bass C5 in front. Back to the tube clean. Maybe this could have a bit more. Well, no, the bottom, I think it's fairly okay like this. And then if you haven't changed anything, you haven't touched anything, then you just press edit and then it goes back. But immediately if you touch something, then you need to say it to that preset. So this is how you operate this. And let's go to my basic overdrive channel. Let's edit the master gains. So now it's 3.5. Let's increase it. It will be louder, but I will compensate it with this. I don't know if this translates to there, but I feel that there's a little difference in feel. I feel that the higher this master is here and the lower this, it's a bit kind of harder feeling. And when I keep this very low and use this, so this is basically like a master volume, because this determines the global output hitting to a power amp. So like on an 800 master volume, this is how much the gates from preamp to power amp are open. So I don't know about the technology, but to me, I've always liked a little bit less here and a little bit more here. So yeah, and the power amp is wide open. The presence is at noon. So it goes to Marshall JCM800 GSL's effect loop return, and here is a effect mix, because this is a parallel or series loop. When it's cranked wide open, it's, you know, it goes full blast from 88 to the power amp section, and this is now the whole system's master volume. Cool. And now when we change something, now 3, and that was preset number 5. Then we add SD. Oops, that was chorus. All right. And so how this compares to a couple of other classic amps. So what I have here is a Peavey 5150 from 92, black leather, and then Marshall JCM800 2203 from 1985, aka a little brother, EL34s, 606s, EL34s. So let's play something which is actually drop tuning. First with the ADA, then I switch to 800 and then to 5150, and then same route back. As you hear, ADA is a little bit two-dimensional, and to me it's it lives somewhere between a Marshall JCM800 and a Plexi. You know, because Plexi has a like mid kind of bite and not so full and 3D like bottom end than JCM800 and 5150 has. So this is, I remember I read an interview about Valovirta when they made some album. I think it was Widow. So the first album he used a Plexi. Then to the second album he switched to ADA, White Lions, and the producer was really doubtful. I might be wrong, but I think it was the producer about this. And then Widow played, and the producer said, yeah, that's, you know, old school Plexi, you know, you should use that. And then Widow was like, no, this is ADA. And the producer was like, oh, wow. So it kind of leaves, at least to me, somewhere between an 800 and a Plexi, a little bit like you heard. These two were really deep 3D like sound, and this is more bitier. I actually used this one on a lot of guitar solos on my forthcoming third solo album, because it really kind of sits in there and cuts through and finds its place, because the rhythms were done with JCM800s, and on some songs I also used 5150. Then, you know, this 88 kind of just fit in there, and I used the Plexi also a lot on the leads. But I also used 800 and 5150, but actually most of the solos are with 88 or Plexi. So that is the thing. And I think I forgot to say this complete signal chain. So let's do that now. So the guitar is ESP Mirage Deluxe from, I think, 87 with EMG 81 and SA or S single coil, whatever, AMG single coil. Then into the pedal board, and I was using a super overdrive and tube screamer on and off with these amps. Then it goes to KHO, the electronics amp switcher. Then into the amps, back to KHE, and then to Fryette power station from KHE. I'm taming this down a little bit. It's still quite loud, I can hear the rumble from another room. And then it goes to my cabinets, which are in another room, isolated room. And what you hear now is a blend of two different speakers. So there's a Marshall vintage speaker, mic'd with two SM57s in the Fredman style, and then I blended in like a dB quieter Sebastian Greenback, mic'd with Sennheiser E906. So that is the sound, and then both mic pairs, because I have some of them there with radios 2:1, some in mixers. I go to Warm Audio's WA412 mic pre, and then into Logic. But another thing which this ADA is cool, because you can, like I said, you can store a lot of sounds in there. So these what I just showed you, the preset number 4, clean, the preset number 5, the distorted tube channel, and number 6 is clean tube channel. These are dialed with all my other guitars except Washburn N4, because N4, this guitar is really bright and the pickup is really bright. So my presets for N4 are 1, 2, 3, and the clean is the same, because with this one, or with like any guitar, I mostly use neck pickup for cleans. That's why the clean is kind of in the middle. My presets, I don't have many. Then number 1 preset. Check it out if I put this to number 5. A lot of top end. So this number 1, and this is set up so I'm using a rat with this one. So now it's without the rat. Nuno sound. And these settings what I have here, 1, 2 and 3, they are from that document. I think my previous video was like in-depth Nuno, where I talk about the Nuno's playing and his settings a bit more. So check that out if you're interested. But they are Nuno's settings, so 4.4, 5, 3.5, bass 9, mix -2, treble 0, presence 4, loop off, chorus out. voicing is the tube distortion or Euge distortion. Now, since I didn't touch anything, I didn't, change the values, I can just press edit and then it goes back to the one. This guitar has so much bite, so I think the settings were pretty same than, let's say, on this 5th preset, which is kind of like the same but with other guitars. And with now I have Rat, and that I dialed with SD. This 5 actually works with this guitar too really well with SD1, but not with Rat, because Rat adds a lot of upper mid bite. So I think the only difference is that I have a less treble on my Nuno settings, and I think a little bit less presence. All the others I believe are the same. Well, let's actually see what are the mids on this one. -4. What are they on Nuno? So I'm controlling the ADA with its, MIDI controller, the MC-1. Let's check the mids on. Oh, it's -2. So I have a little bit more mids with these, because Rat doesn't add that much mids, but SD1 adds more mids. So let's to kind of compensate. Now it's SD. Now it's Rat with that bite. Okay, then normal guitar, because all my other guitars, obviously they sound the same, but they are in the same ballpark. The Washburn N4 is an exception. Like this sound is quite dark now with it. So let's go back to 5 and add SD. Okay, that was it. Once more, quickly. 3 channels, overdriven tube channel, clean tube channel, which goes into overdrive as well, and solid state clean channel. And then you can, store over 100 different presets to this one. And the overdrive 1 and overdrive 2, overdrive 1 kind of determines, like a preamp control on 800, how hot the signal is hitting the tube. And the overdrive 2, at least to me, then kind of you determine how much the tube overdrives. So almost like changing tubes, cleaner tube, more overdriven tube. So this is really versatile. The master gain is basically a volume between your presets, but to me it also adds the tone, or at least the feel, a tiny amount. Then your standard bass, mid and treble controls, presence control, effect loop on and off, and then the chorus, which don't sound really good on mono, it works really well on stereo, and the voicing switch. So that was that. Hopefully you found this interesting and informative. Until next time, take care, all the best, bye.